What's going on, everybody? So we have a new interview with Tommy Stinson, who used to be the bass player for Guns N' Roses, and he was on the Tom Dunn show, and I've put the entire podcast down below if you guys want to go check it out. He was talking about his new, I wouldn't really say new, I guess it's an old group he was reviving called Bash and Pop, and the issue of Guns N' Roses came up, and the interviewer asked him, you had a long run with Guns N' Roses and then the reunion of them. That didn't really suit you, did it? Having Duff McKagan come back. And he sort of alluded to the fact that he had some stuff in his personal life where he couldn't really work and tour with Guns N' Roses, and Axl kind of had to make a decision, and it just made sense for Duff to come back. And he even said that he went and saw some of the shows, and they were really good, and he's still friends with the guys from Guns N' Roses, and he's really happy that they made up and have reunited. So I don't know if you guys have heard, like I've heard in the past that he was a bit of a heavy drinker, Tommy Stinson. Maybe that's the issues he was dealing with, but we don't know until he comes out and actually officially talks about it. He also said that he was in Guns N' Roses longer than any other band. He said he was in Guns N' Roses for, as we know, 17, 18 years. He also said that Guns N' Roses served him really well. He said he's got nothing bad to say about it. He's not saying it was easy, but he says it was good on so many levels, aside from the financial levels. He said there was lots of times when they'd have a year or so off, and they were basically given, they could do whatever they wanted. They go play with other groups. He went back to the Replacements. And he said he's even got a little bit of a relationship with Duff. He said he's texted with him a few times. He's checked in with him once in a while because he's such a good, gracious human being. I actually have my own Tommy Stinson story. This was back in 2013, in September 2013. I was flying for business from where I lived to Albany, New York. And I think we had a stopover in Chicago. And then from Chicago to New York, I was flying on this plane. And sure enough, when I board the plane, there's this dude who looks really familiar. But I'm never good at like identifying famous people like when I see them in person. But there was something about this guy. He had like a pork pie hat on. He had some really nice clothes. And you could tell this guy wasn't like a normal guy. He definitely had a lot of money and he looked famous, but I just couldn't recognize it until we landed. And we landed in Albany, and there was, those guys who come and pick you up if you have like a taxi driver or if you have like a private escort or something, like a limousine service or something. He had a sign that said Tommy Stinson. I was like, oh, it's Tommy Stinson from Guns N' Roses. And sure enough, he was literally a couple feet from me. And the guy next to me said, oh, that's Tommy Stinson from the Replacements. He's actually playing a show with the Replacements. We played with him last night or something like that. I was going to go up to him and like ask him for a picture, but I always think that famous people hate being asked for that kind of stuff, so I just left it alone. But I thought that was kind of cool. Like, that was the only time I've ever seen a Guns N' Roses member, other than maybe the time I went to McDonald's and I think maybe Chris Pittman may have been serving me, but that was about it. So that does it for today's Guns N' Roses news, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Do you guys have an interaction with any Guns N' Roses members in the past? Let me know. And as always, guys, make sure you subscribe for the latest Guns N' Roses news. Take care.